I sat in the kitchen. It was very late at night. The house was big and quiet. Nobody was home but me. I looked at the papers on the table. They were divorce papers. I filled them all out already. Every page was done. Only one thing was missing. Owen needed to sign them. I waited for this moment for 2 years. 2 very long years. Owen was my husband. He was not a bad man. He never hit me. He never said mean things to me. He never cheated on me with another woman, but he was never really here. Owen worked all the time. Every day he left early. Every night he came home late. He loved his work more than me. That was the truth. I felt like a piece of furniture. I felt like a chair or a table. I was just there in the house. He did not see me anymore. He did not talk to me. I tried to save our marriage. I really tried. I cooked his favorite food. I waited for him every night. I asked him to spend time with me. Nothing worked. He always said he was too busy. So I made my decision. I decided to leave. Tomorrow morning, I would give him these papers. I rented a small apartment across town. It was small, but it was mine. My bags were already in my car. Everything was ready. I felt relieved. I felt lighter. Tomorrow, I would be free. I could start a new life. I looked at the clock on the wall. It was almost 2 in the morning. I needed to go to bed. Tomorrow was a very important day. Then the phone rang. The sound was very loud in the quiet house. I jumped. My heart beat fast. Who called this late at night? I looked at my phone. The number was unknown. I felt worried. Late night calls were never good news. I answered the phone. "Hello?" I said. "Is this Mrs. Donatella Miller?" A man asked. His voice was serious. "Yes, this is Donatella," I said. "Mrs. Miller, this is Officer Davis. I am with the city police. I have bad news. Your husband was in a car accident tonight." My whole body went cold. "What happened?" I asked. My voice shook. He was driving on the highway. His car hit the guardrail. The accident was very serious. We took him to St. Jude Hospital. "You need to come right now." "Is he okay?" I asked. "I do not know." "Ma'am, the doctors are with him now. Please come to the hospital." The officer ended the call. I sat there. I could not move. I stared at my phone. Then I looked at the divorce papers on the table. Owen was in the hospital. He was hurt. Maybe he was hurt very badly. Maybe he was dying right now. I could stay home. I could pretend I did not get the call. We were going to divorce anyway. Why should I go to him? But I knew I could not do that. My conscience would not let me. He was still my husband on paper. He was still a human being, a person who needed help. I stood up fast. I grabbed my bag from the chair. I ran to the front door. I left the divorce papers on the kitchen table. They sat there in the empty house. I got in my car. My hands shook so much, I could barely hold the keys. I started the car and drove to the hospital. The streets were dark and empty. Nobody else was out this late. I drove as fast as I could. My mind was full of thoughts. I felt angry at Owen. I felt scared for Owen. I felt confused about everything. Part of me wanted to turn the car around. Part of me wanted to go back home. But my foot stayed on the gas pedal. Owen needed someone right now. Even if I did not love him anymore, I could not leave him alone. Not like this. Not when he might die. I saw the hospital ahead. The lights were very bright. They hurt my eyes after the dark streets. I parked my car badly. I did not care. I ran to the emergency room doors. My life was about to change again. I did not know how. I just knew nothing would be the same after tonight. I ran through the hospital doors. The smell hit me right away. It smelled like cleaning products and medicine. The lights were very bright and white. Everything looked cold. I ran to the emergency desk. A nurse looked up at me. "My husband," I said, "Owen Miller." The police called me. "Where is he?" The nurse checked her computer. "He is in the emergency room now. The doctors are with him. Please wait here." "Can I see him?" I asked. "Not yet. The doctors are working on him." "Please sit down." But I did not sit down. I walked closer to the emergency room doors. Through the small window, I saw him. Owen was on a stretcher. There was blood on his face and his clothes. His eyes were closed. Doctors and nurses moved very fast around him. They shouted things I could not understand. My chest hurt suddenly. It hurt so much. I put my hand over my heart. I thought I did not love him anymore. But seeing him like that made me feel terrible. I stood there and watched through the window. I could not look away. Then I heard a voice behind me. "Donatella?" I turned around. It was Mrs. Evelyn. She was Owen's mother. Owen's sister stood next to her. They both looked at me with angry faces. Mrs. Evelyn walked toward me fast. Her face was red. "What are you doing here?" she asked. "The police called me," I said. "I came right away." "You should not be here, Mrs. Evelyn said. She stepped closer to me. "You are leaving him, are you not? Everyone knows it. You want a divorce." I felt my face get hot. How did she know about the divorce? "You have no right to be here," she continued. "We are his real family." Her words hurt me. They hurt more than I expected. I wanted to turn around. I wanted to run out of the hospital. I wanted to go home and forget everything. But then I saw something. Owen's feet were sticking out from under the blanket on the stretcher. I saw his shoes. They were brown leather shoes. I bought those shoes for him 2 years ago for his birthday. I remembered that day. We were still happy then. We laughed together. He kissed me and said thank you. He said I always knew what he liked. I remembered why I loved him once. I remembered the good times before everything went bad. I took a deep breath. I looked at Mrs. Evelyn. "He is still my husband," I said. My voice was quiet but strong. "On paper, he is still my husband. I am not going anywhere, not until I know he is safe." Mrs. Evelyn's face got even more red. "You do not care about him. You just want—" "I do not want to argue," I said. I walked past her. I sat down in a chair in the corner, far away from them. Mrs. Evelyn stared at me. Her eyes were full of hate, but she did not say anything more. She sat down on the other side of the room with Owen's sister. The waiting room was quiet, only the sound of the clock on the wall. Tick, Tick, tick. I looked at the floor. Mrs. Evelyn looked at me. I felt her angry eyes on me, but I did not look back at her. Time moved very slowly. Every minute felt like an hour. I watched the clock. 5 minutes passed, then 10, then 20. Nobody spoke. The silence was heavy and uncomfortable. I felt very alone. These people used to be my family. Mrs. Evelyn used to hug me. Owen's sister used to call me and talk for hours. Now they hated me. I did not belong with them anymore. But I could not leave either. Not yet. Not until I knew Owen was okay. So I sat there in my corner. I waited. I felt lonely even though other people were in the room with me. A nurse walked by, then another. Nobody came to tell us anything about Owen. I looked at my hands. They were shaking a little. I was tired. I was scared. I was sad. But I stayed in that chair. I did not move. Mrs. Evelyn whispered something to Owen's sister. They both looked at me. More time passed. The clock kept ticking. Tick, tick, tick. I closed my eyes for a moment. I was so tired, but I could not sleep. I needed to know if Owen was going to be okay. So I waited and waited and waited. At 4 in the morning, a doctor came out. He wore a green uniform. His face looked very serious. He looked tired and worried. We all stood up fast. Mrs. Evelyn ran to him first. She asked. Her voice shook. The doctor looked at all of us. Your son is in bad condition. He has internal bleeding. We need to do surgery right now. Then do it, Mrs. Evelyn said. Save him. It is not that simple, the doctor said. The surgery is very dangerous. He could die during the surgery, or he could survive but never wake up. He could be paralyzed. We do not know what will happen. My legs felt weak. I sat down in my chair again. But we must try. The doctor continued, if we do nothing, he will die for sure. So we need to operate now. Yes, yes, do it, Mrs. Evelyn said. Whatever you need to do. The doctor held out a paper and a pen. I need a signature. A legal representative must sign this paper. It says, you understand the risks. Mrs. Evelyn reached for the pen. I will sign it. I am his mother. The doctor pulled the paper back. Are you the patient's wife? He asked. No, I am his mother, Mrs. Evelyn said. The doctor shook his head. By law, if the wife is here, only she can sign. She is the legal representative. Everyone turned to look at me. Mrs. Evelyn stared at me. Owen's sister stared at me. The doctor waited. I felt like I could not breathe. My hands started to shake. The doctor walked over to me. He held out the pen and paper. Mrs. Miller, I need your signature. I looked at the paper. I looked at the pen. I could not move. Mrs. Evelyn came close to me. Her eyes were red from crying. She did not speak. But her eyes begged me. She hated me, but she needed me now. I took the pen. It felt very heavy in my hand. If I signed this paper, the doctors would try to save Owen. But what if he lived and could not walk? What if he lived but never woke up? What if he needed care for the rest of his life? I would be trapped. I could not divorce a man who was paralyzed because of my decision. My conscience would not allow it. I would have to stay. I would have to take care of him forever. The divorce papers were at home on my kitchen table. They meant freedom. They meant a new life. They meant I could be myself again. This signature meant the opposite. This signature meant I would never be free. This signature was like a cage. Mrs. Miller, the doctor said gently, we do not have much time. I looked through the glass window. I saw Owen on the bed. Machines were connected to him. His chest moved up and down fast. He looked like he could not breathe well. I remembered Owen before. I remembered when he was strong and healthy. I remembered his smile. I remembered his laugh. I remembered when we were happy. I could not let him die. Even if I did not love him anymore, I could not let him die. I took a deep breath. My hand moved. I signed my name on the paper, Donatella Miller. The doctor took the paper from me. Thank you, he said. He ran back through the emergency room doors. Mrs. Evelyn started to cry. She cried very loudly. Owen's sister put her arms around her mother. I sat back down in my chair. My whole body felt heavy. I felt like I could not move at all. I just saved Owen's life. I agreed to the surgery, but I also just closed the door on my own freedom. If Owen lived but could not take care of himself, I would stay with him. I knew that about myself. I could not walk away from someone I hurt with my own choice. The divorce papers at home meant nothing now. Everything was different now. I put my face in my hands. I wanted to cry, but no tears came out. I was too tired, too scared, too sad. Mrs. Evelyn sat down across from me. She was still crying. She did not say, "Thank you." She did not say anything to me. But she did not look at me with hate anymore. We waited again. We waited to see if Owen would live or die. We waited to see if the surgery would work. I sat there in my chair. I felt the weight of what I just did. I saved a life, but I also gave up my own life, my own plans, my own freedom. The clock on the wall kept ticking. Tick, tick, tick. I closed my eyes. I was so tired, but I could not rest. Not yet. Not until I knew what happened to Owen. So I waited. And I thought about the divorce papers at home, and I wondered if I would ever be free again. The surgery took 3 hours. Then the doctor came out again. His face looked less worried this time. The surgery went well, he said. Your husband is alive. He is in the recovery room now. Mrs. Evelyn cried again. But this time she cried because she was happy. She asked. He is not awake yet, the doctor said. He needs rest. Maybe one person can sit with him for a short time. Mrs. Evelyn started to walk forward. Then she stopped. She looked at me. She looked very tired. You go, she said to me. Her voice was quiet. You signed the paper. You should see him first. I was surprised. I did not expect her to say that. I will get some coffee, Mrs. Evelyn said. Then I will come back. She and Owen's sister walked away. They went to the cafeteria. A nurse led me to the recovery room. It was a small room with machines everywhere. The machines made beeping sounds. Beep, beep, beep. Owen was in the bed. He looked very pale. His eyes were closed. Wires and tubes were connected to his body. You can sit for 30 minutes, the nurse said. Then you must let him rest. I nodded. I sat down in the chair next to the bed. The nurse left. I was alone with Owen. I looked at him for a long time. He was so still. Only his chest moved up and down slowly. I reached out and held his hand. His hand was cold. Wires were taped to his fingers, but I held it anyway. This hand. I remembered this hand. It held mine many times before. We walked together in the park. We held hands at the movies. We held hands on our wedding day. But for 2 years, this hand only held his phone. It only held his computer mouse. It never held my hand anymore. I felt tears in my eyes. Owen, I said quietly, can you hear me? He was still in a deep sleep. I need to tell you something, I said. My voice shook. I filled out divorce papers. I was going to give them to you this morning. I was going to leave you today. The machines kept beeping. Beep, beep, beep. I wanted to hate you, I continued. I tried so hard to hate you, but I could not do it. Tears ran down my face now. I could not stop them. Why were you driving so late at night? I asked. Where were you going? You never drive late. You always come home and work in your office. Owen did not answer. He just lay there. I cried harder. I think I still love the old you, the you from before. But the you from now? I cannot live with that you anymore. I put my head down on the bed. I cried into the blanket. I cried for a long time. Then I saw something. Owen's clothes were in a plastic bag on the chair. The bag was clear. I could see his torn jacket inside. Something small fell out of the jacket pocket. It was a small box, a gift box. I stopped crying. I picked up the box. It was wrapped in silver paper. The paper was torn and dirty from the accident. I opened the box slowly. Inside was a necklace. It was a simple silver necklace with a small heart charm. My breath stopped. I knew this necklace. I saw it in a store 3 years ago. I loved it, but I did not buy it. We needed to save money back then. How did Owen remember? That was 3 years ago. I looked in the box again. There was a small piece of paper, a note. I unfolded it. Let's start over? Oh. My hand started to shake. The note fell from my fingers. Owen was not on a business trip last night. He was not working late. He went out to buy this gift. For me. He knew. He knew I wanted a divorce. Somehow he found out. And he went to buy this necklace. He wanted to save our marriage. He wanted to try again. That was why he was driving so late. He was coming home to me. He was bringing this gift. He wanted to ask me to start over. But he never made it home. The accident happened first. I picked up the necklace. I held it in my hands. I started to cry again. But this time I cried differently. I cried because my heart was breaking. Owen tried. He really tried. He went out in the middle of the night. He remembered something from 3 years ago. He bought this gift. He wrote this note. He wanted me back. And I never knew. I looked at Owen in the bed. He looked so weak, so helpless. I am so sorry, I whispered. I am so sorry. Owen. I put the necklace back in the box. I held Owen's cold hand again. Please wake up, I said. Please. We need to talk. We need to fix this. Please wake up. But Owen did not wake up. The machines kept beeping. Beep, beep, beep. I sat there and held his hand. I did not let go. I fell asleep in the chair. My hand still held Owen's hand. I was so tired, I could not keep my eyes open anymore. When I woke up, weak sunlight came through the window. It was morning. A new day started. I lifted my head. My neck hurt from sleeping in the chair. I blinked my eyes. Then I saw Owen. His eyes were open. He looked at me. I jumped up from the chair. Owen, you are awake. He tried to smile, but it looked painful. Hi, he said. His voice was very weak and rough. I need to call the doctor, I said. I started to move away, but Owen held my hand. He held it tight. Wait, he said. I stopped. I looked at him. You stayed, he said. Tears filled my eyes again. Yes, I stayed. Why? He asked. The doctor needed a signature, I said. I had to sign the surgery papers. I could not let you die. Owen closed his eyes for a moment. He looked like he was in pain. My mother told me, he said slowly. She said you were leaving me. My face got hot. I did not know what to say. Owen opened his eyes again. He looked at the small table next to the bed. He saw the gift box. The necklace was still inside it. You found it, he said. Yes, I whispered. I found it. You looked at that necklace. Your eyes got so bright. But you did not buy it. You said we needed to save money. I started to cry. You remembered that? From 3 years ago? I remembered everything, Owen said. I just forgot to show you. I was stupid. Owen, I started to say. My briefcase, Owen said. He tried to point. The nurse put my things in that closet. Can you get my briefcase? I was confused. Why do you need your briefcase now? Please, he said. Just get it. I walked to the closet. I found his black briefcase. I brought it to the bed. Open it, Owen said. I opened the briefcase. Inside were his work papers and his computer, but on top was a white paper. I picked it up. My hands started to shake. It was divorce papers, but not my papers. These were different papers. I looked at Owen. What is this? Read it, he said. I read the paper. It was a divorce petition. Owen's name was at the top, and at the bottom was his signature. He signed it already. I do not understand, I said. Owen took a deep breath. It hurt him to talk, but he kept talking. I knew you were unhappy, he said. I saw it in your eyes. I heard it when you stopped talking to me. I felt it when you stopped waiting for me at dinner. I could not speak. I just listened. I bought the necklace to say sorry, Owen continued. I wanted to fix things, but then I thought about it. Really thought about it. Keeping you when you want to leave is selfish. It is wrong. Owen, you do not have to. Let me finish, he said. His voice was so weak. The accident happened. I was scared, but I was not scared of dying. I was scared that I wasted our time together. I was scared that I made you cry for years. Tears ran down my face. I could not stop them. Life is short, Owen said. You should not waste it with someone who makes you sad. You signed papers to save my life. So now I sign papers to save your life. Your real life, the life you deserve. He pointed at the divorce papers in my hand. You are free, Donatella, he said. You do not need to stay because you feel bad for me. You do not need to stay because of obligation. You can go. I will be okay. I stared at the papers. I saw his signature. His hand was shaky when he wrote it. But he wrote it. Owen was giving me freedom right now, when he was weak and hurt, when he needed help, when he needed someone to stay with him. He put me first. He put my happiness above his needs. This was the Owen I fell in love with, the Owen who cared about me, the Owen who saw me. I looked at the divorce papers, then I looked at Owen, then back at the papers. My hands moved. I tore the papers in half, then I tore them again. The pieces fell on the floor. Owen's eyes got wide. What are you doing? I do not want these, I said. But you wanted to leave, Owen said. You were ready to go. I wanted to leave because you did not see me, I said. But last night, you saw me. This morning, you see me. You see me more clearly than ever before. I sat down on the edge of his bed. I held his hand again. You letting me go means you truly love me, I said. The old you would never do that. The old you would make excuses. But this you puts me first. Owen's eyes filled with tears. I do not want to lose you. But I will not stay as your wife, not yet. Ask me to start over. Ask me to date you again. This time, do it right. Owen tried to sit up, but the pain was too much. He stayed lying down, but he held my hand tight. Hello, he said. His voice shook. My name is Owen. I just had a terrible accident. I have nothing right now, but I love you. Will you date me again? From the start? I promise. I will never make you lonely again. I leaned down. I kissed his forehead gently. Yes, I said. I accept, but our first date will be in the hospital cafeteria. Owen laughed. Then he stopped because it hurt, but he smiled. A real smile. I can do that, he said. I stayed by his bed. I held his hand. The sun came through the window. It was warm and bright. We did not go back to normal. We could not. Too much happened. But we chose each other again. Not because of a marriage paper, not because of obligation, but because of love, real love, the kind you choose every single day. If this story touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps more people discover these emotional journeys. Don't forget to subscribe to Kaviko English Storytime for more powerful stories that will make you think, feel, and see the world differently. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a new story. And if you know someone who loves deep, emotional storytelling, share this video with them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.